gonna dive right into this. Normally, anytime I'm pulling a motor out of a car, the first thing I like to do is drain all the fluids out the car. Um, it's just to keep everything as clean as possible. The last thing you want to do is start pulling a motor out and you got oil going all over the place, or pulling axles out, trans fluid all over the place, coolant. So I usually like to drain all the fluids out first. Then after that, I'll just start disconnecting all the harness, anything that connects to the engine. Fuel injector harness is already disconnected here. We got a couple other things that are taken out apart already. And then once all that's disconnected, anything that's pretty much attached to the motor that will prevent it from coming out when you're trying to take the motor out, you want to take all those things out, like hoses, headers. You know, you guys get the idea. So in today's video, I'm just going to be focusing on showing you guys how to take the head out. We already have another block that's going to be going in this car, so we don't have to remove the block or the trans right now at this very moment. We'll be putting the new block on the engine stand, and then we're going to send this head out to be resurfaced just to be on the safe side. While this head is out being resurfaced, then we'll work on getting the trans and this block out and have everything out of the engine bay. And then once we get the head back, we can work on putting the timing belt, new water pump, and all that stuff on the actual engine stand itself. Will be a lot easier that way. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. I got my little cart here, pretty much all the tools that I may need. And then I have this nice and empty, so once we start disassembling the head, we could put everything nice and neat here and not lose anything. Alright guys, so at this point, pretty much got most of all the harness out. Throttle cable's loose. I just gotta take it off of here. But yeah, pretty much the whole harness, everything is already out. Radiator hoses taken out. All these sensors, everything's disconnected. One thing I do want to mention to you guys is on these cars, the throttle position sensor and the map sensor usually sits up here, but on this manifold it sits in the bottom right there. The plugs are identical, so you can put those on backwards and you can burn stuff in the ECU out. They're literally identical. So what I did is I just put some painter's tape on this and put painter's tape on the throttle position sensor. That way I know which plug went where, and that way we don't mix that up. And headers is loose already. So then I'm going to get into the juicy stuff and start taking everything apart up here. Valve cover bolts or nuts are all loose already, so valve cover could come off now. Just set the valve cover to the side. And pretty much what we're going to be doing is we're going to start working on unbolting all of these. And we're going to get into the juicy stuff on getting the head off now. Alright guys, so before I started taking the cam caps off, I took the timing cover off on the side, the top half. It's just 2 10s right there. Pulled this guy out from here. And then towards the bottom, it's pretty dark and you can't see this, a 14 millimeter for the tensioner. I loosened the tensioner that way I could slide the belt off. Now we can work on pretty much taking the valve train off. So all of these here are 12 millimeters. These guys are 10s. And the same way we're looking at it from the front of the car, the same way I take them out, I'm going to bring them over here like if this was the front of the car, and I'm going to set them here, that way we don't mix anything up. They are marked intake and exhaust, so you really can't mess them up. But to be on the safe side and stay organized, we want to do it that way. If you take a look right there, you can see the letter E for exhaust side, which exhaust header. Go on this side, you can see the I for intake. So they are marked, but just to be on the safe side, that's the way we want to take them out and keep everything organized.
was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Point that we got the cam caps off. With a mallet, you can just lightly tap on here so we get these caps off. This one's loose. There we go. Once we take all these off, then we'll be able to remove the cams themselves. Now that we got all the caps off, now we can proceed on taking the cams themselves out. Just lift these guys out the way. And like I said earlier, to be on the safe side, the same way I'm looking at this from the front of the car is the same way I'm putting them on my cart, just so we don't mix anything up. These you cannot mix up because it has this notch for the distributor. The other one on the exhaust side doesn't, so you can't even mix these up. So, but just to keep everything organized, we're just going to proceed doing it the same way. And now that we got the cams out themselves, now you'll be able to see the head bolts between each one of these holes. And once we remove all of those, we should be able to just pull the head right out. Just want to get a closer view for you guys. Here are all the head stud bolts. And I'm going to proceed on taking those guys out. I'm going to do it off camera because I'm pretty sure they're going to be extremely tight. So I don't want to bore you guys with me struggling on taking these out. But once I got them all out, we'll show you guys how it looks. Alright, so I got all the head bolts loose. I'm going to get a magnet here just to get all the nuts out. As you can see, I'm going to do that on each one. And then we should be ready to pull this head off. And just like that, there you have it. We got the head off the car. We're off the block. Here's the block right here. Everything looks actually pretty good on this top side, but the car has spun a bearing, so at some other time in the future we'll look at the bottom side and see exactly what happened. But that's it, guys. This was a couple steps the way I do to take off the heads on these cars. Hopefully this was very informative video for you guys. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe, tap that notification button, stay updated on this build as well as Goliath that we gotta finish up as well. And I'll catch you guys on the next.